Gentlemen, excellent to be back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, how I earned 500 USD in 15 minutes. Before we get to that, thanks to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Welcome Jay Brooks, the newest member of Patreon supporters of this channel. Jay Brooks, I hope that my response to your questions gave you some investment ideas. And by the way, you're a smart man opening up that Webull account. Gentlemen, see the video description right now. Become a supporter of this channel. On to today's topic, how I earned 500 USD in 15 minutes. Men, ideally, in my opinion, the best forms of income, and I've discussed this in the past, are what I'm going to term as passive income, passive streams of money coming into my bank account where I have to do little or nothing. In other words, I don't have to worry about handling an inventory. I don't have to worry about dealing with customer service emails. I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have to chase people down to get them to pay rent or whatever. I don't have any tenants to deal with. And yes, for those of you who actually have owned rental property, and although I understand some of you have had great success, I can assure you, I can tell you just as many horror stories about owning it as well. And yes, by the way, I am very familiar with rental property. All right, the point is, though, ideally, in my opinion, you want something that's simple, that's easy, that you can do straight from your sofa. In other words, you don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to get into 3 very specific things that I've done recently that you don't have to buy a $499 course to learn how to do. Before I get into that, a quick word from our sponsor. Men, as you already heard, one of the Patreon supporters, for example, and I know that several others have done the same thing, have opened an account with Webull. I've mentioned Webull before. They're a stock trading platform. It costs you nothing to open an account with them. Furthermore, after you open an account, you put in $100, they will give you a free share of stock. You say, well, hold it. What's the catch? Well, hold, this is some sort of scam, right? No. Men, listen carefully. This is what's called, and we're going to go into this in just a second, customer acquisition. They want to build a base of customers. That's what it's all about, men. That's why in the late 90s, AOL, as some of you may remember, were sending out millions, literally, of CDs, compact discs to people, just because it was costing them $15, $20 a piece to send these things out, but they were getting a customer base built. That's why Webull's doing it. Gentlemen, go to the video description right now. Open your Webull account, put $100 in, grab your free share of stock. Back on topic. 500 USD in 15 minutes. Can I do it? Yes, I just did it recently. Now, I understand that some of you, evidently, based upon the comments, are multi-millionaires, and therefore, you just need to click off because you're going to have no interest whatsoever in doing this. But I'm just going to give you a real quick example of something that I just did. I just opened up a Bank of America credit card. Yeah, you heard me, a credit card. That's all I did. I just went online, took me about 15 minutes, opened up a Bank of America premium credit card. I'm not going to include any links here. They gave me a credit in terms of number of points that's equal to, oh, that's right, 500 USD. In other words, I can go charge this thing up $500 and just use these points and the money's just paid off. In other words, I got a free $500 in my pocket. Yeah, of course, there's a catch. I had to go and I had to spend $3,000 within 90 days. But you know what? That's actually a lot easier than you might think. Even if you're living with your mom in your basement right now and you got your right hand on your joystick and your left hand on the keyboard, you can do this, men. There are things that you can do that you can actually buy that you could use to come up with that 3K, for example, that you might need to spend. You can buy gift cards, for example, for places you might go to. If you do actually not live with your mother, maybe you need to pay your utilities. Some places allow you to pay rent, etc. Another idea, something else that I've also done relatively recently, is that I went to Chase Bank. That's one of the banks that I deal with. And you know what? They're giving out money. Yeah, you heard me. Back in the past, when I was a kid, I remember these banks were giving you like a toaster to go open up an account. But now they're giving out real money. For example, I opened up a UVest brokerage account with Chase Bank. You know, it's just a normal stock brokerage account. There are no commissions, nothing like that. They gave me the equivalent of 900 USD. Yeah, you heard me. 900 USD in points, the equivalent of. Now, in this case, here's the catch on this one. I had to put up 75 grand in this. Yeah, you heard me. 75,000 USD. I had to put up. I got to keep it in the account 90 days. And oh, that's right. Bingo. They give me the equivalent of 900 USD right into my little points account, if you will. Not a bad deal. And it certainly didn't take very long, I can assure you. Lastly, third idea. You need some quick cash? Listen very carefully. A few months ago, I personally needed several $1,000s for a project I was involved in. And yes, there are some different ways I could get some money. I could sell this. I could move this here. I could, do some weird stuff, whatever. I could dump some of my precious metals, but that's actually the last thing that I wanted to do. So I, quote unquote, borrowed the money, and I'm putting that in quotations, as you'll hear in just a second, from Barclays Bank, and it was really easy. And furthermore, oh, that's right, my interest rate is less than 1% on that loan from Barclays Bank. Specifically, what they were doing is they sent me an offer. You ever seen those checks that you'll sometimes get in the mail if you have a credit card? Specifically, they sent me a check, literally a check with my name. I could fill in the dollar amount up to my credit line, and I could deposit that check into my bank account and use that money for anything that I wanted. There was no interest associated with the credit for the check, I should say. Furthermore, I only had to pay 1% fee. So for example, using round numbers, a $10,000 loan from them, in this case, if you will, cost me, quote unquote, $100. And oh, that's right, they gave me 15 months to pay back the money. So as long as I'm making the minimum monthly payment, they're not going to charge me the interest for the 15 months. And furthermore, if I pay off the entire 10 grand in this particular example that I'm using, I will pay zero interest. In other words, other than the 1%, I got this advantage of $10,000 to use for my project. The point is, man, this was easily quick cash that anybody, assuming you've got decent credit, that you can get a hold of. Let me finish by saying, man, this is free money. There's no scams. There's no tricks. I can't be any more specific. There's no selling involved here. You don't have to buy some stupid YouTube course for $499 and they tell you how you're going to make $1 million overnight. It's virtually not going to happen. These banks are doing it to get customers, and you can either be a victim of the banks, and in particular of negative interest rates. I'll have more to say about that in future videos. Or you can take advantage of them and take their money. Gentlemen, as always, I hope you found this profitable. If you didn't, unsubscribe now. Gentlemen, as always, John Galt out.